Hey guys, what is up? This is Taking Shots podcast. On today's episode 16, we are talking about drugs. I love drugs.
And we're your guys' hosts. I'm Angel.
And I'm V.
And I'm Luis.
And guys, today, what do we have today, Vivi? Since it was a special request.
So today we have Bucanas pineapple with squirt. It was requested for my friend Juan. He's all the way in LA.
Hey,
Shout out to him. He's been watching us all the way from over there.
Since we're talking about LA, shout out to my boy Justin.
Hey, shout out to my boy Justin. And Lil Sleep and Moy.
Yeah, no, Lil Sleep's here.
He's from Compton too, though.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
And we have a shot right here.
No,
Guys, I don't know if we have it in there. Just so you guys don't know that we're not capping. You know, if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
It's
we said we're to talk about drugs. Let's take some drugs and alcohol. Because I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, they separated.
Yeah, all right, drugs and alcohol. Guys, all right, cheers. I guess. Cheers, dude. Oh my god, dude. Cheers. Oh my god, I can already. Guys, I haven't.
Take the shot. Take the shot. How I told you how to take the shot.
Guys, I'm actually kind of scared.
Look, I showed
Breathe
Luis.
in.
I showed Luis how to take shots. You breathe in, take the shot, and then just let it out.
What if I can't breathe? All right,
then you're fucked.
Ready.
It doesn't work.
Right?
It doesn't work.
I'm gonna take the shot.
Okay. Oh my god. Bucanas always sits in the back. Later on.
Get fell, dude. Take that over there.
Ooh.
It don't work, guys. It don't work. She
It
lied.
works, but that should just be hidden.
Nah, she lied to us.
Mm-mm.
Anyways,
She lied to me.
yeah, she lied to everybody.
Hell no, dude.
Get
Hold on.
Mira, ves, mírala.
I feel like I'm gonna gag.
Hey, Luis, what are you talking about today, bro?
Nah.
They got warm in here all of a sudden.
All right, I might have to change the AC. Not gonna like this. All right. Anyways, guys, we're talking about have you guys ever done drugs?
Yeah. Of
Why
course.
did I ask that question?
Damn, that was so upfront.
Have you ever done drugs?
Hell
No. Yeah.
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 Medically
Lock 'em up.
prescribed.
He said,
Lock 'em
hell
up.
yeah.
Look him
Hell
up.
I did. What did
yeah.
I do? Xanax or no?
What? Xanax?
Oxy.
Oxy.
Oxy
Damn.
was one of the best things.
Medically prescribed.
Oxy was one of the best things that I tried. Oh my
That should go
God.
hard.
You're
It
floating?
felt like I was drunk, but I was fully aware of everything.
You were just high.
But it was medically prescribed.
Medically prescribed.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys.
I doubt it.
Okay.
uh,
So,
I'm gonna ask you guys.
all right, let's see.
I'm gonna change the AC while you guys are talking.
You being
Guys, Loki, it did get kind of hot in here after that shot.
It's hot because
Oh
of
my
the
God.
shots.
All right. But, okay. So, drugs in general, obviously they can be good, they can be bad. And if we have taken them, this is, experimental for educational purposes. For educational purposes, guys. All right. Educational
We only
purposes.
tried it just so we can do this podcast.
Yeah.
So, you guys
Just-
know.
only for that
Yeah,
reason.
something
So
like
it's scientifically purposes.
What?
that. Scientific, educational purposes.
Scientifical purposes. No, it's
Educational
scientifical.
purposes. All
I
right.
don't. Yeah, whatever.
Scientifical.
Anyways.
Eh.
Vivi, have you done drugs? You first.
Yes, dude, I have.
Are you proud?
Well, honestly, when you're young, you experiment with everything's here and there,
Not
know.
me.
Yes, baby, hijita.
Well, dude, you better live life.
Wow,
You're not living
fuck
life.
me, dude.
Honestly, yeah, I have. I
You only
think
get one life.
the drugs that I have done have definitely been. I've tried acid once. Definitely never fucking doing that shit ever again in my life. Cause,
How was it?
dude, honestly, it was a long trip. So I tried it for the first time when I was 18, and
Lock
dude,
her up.
dude, hell no, dude, that trip was freaking for me. It was 10 hours. It was so long.
Dude, how much acid did you take?
So long. I took
Could've got
so
to LA at that time.
so
Well, 'cause
I
they
took
come in
one
tabs,
tab.
no?
Yeah,
In
so I
tabs.
took one tab, and then so the people who I was doing it with at the time and everything, like it wasn't hitting us. Yeah, había pasado like 2 hours, right? And so we're like, oh, like let's just take another tab. And
hell no,
dude, I
dude.
was so scared. I was literally so scared because I think that was like the first drug that I had like ever done like intensely. Like I
Uh-huh.
had tried weed and stuff before,
Yeah.
but like drugs, I was like, I like get miedo, And so I took 2 tabs and boom, just a fucking slap to the face. And I was like, hell no. Like the wall started moving. And then the worst mistake, if you're ever gonna do acid, like I'm not like, putting it out there to do it.
But
We
if
do not
But-
promote.
we don't
drugs.
condone.
Yeah, we don't
drug
we
use,
don't
you know?
condone or none of that stuff.
This-
But if someone
Educational
from an
purposes.
alcohol company wants to promote us, let us know.
Hey,
Dude,
look,
I
sponsor
freaking
us.
ate. I was eating, and I didn't know this, but now I know this is the point. But never gonna do acid ever again. I tried the trolley gummy worms.
Uh-huh.
And so, dude, when I was on acid, like I was looking at them, and those bitches were
They're
like moving,
moving.
dude. It was so funny. And then, the milk duds. Have you guys had milk duds? How they're all caramelly.
Yeah, I have.
So I put one in my mouth, and dude, like like when you're chewing, you're like, oh, like
Your
chewing
mouth is, like,
casual and
sticky,
stuff.
like, sticky.
But dude, no, I was on acid and I was tripping. I was tripping so hard, dude. I felt my jaw opening from like here to like here, dude. Like I
because
felt like
it
my
felt
jaw.
like it was sticky, like
Yeah,
the caramel. It was like
no,
getting
it was
stuck
so
to your
bad.
teeth. Like
10 out of 10, it was cool, but the other 10
Hey.
out of 10, don't recommend.
no, well, it's crazy because like well, for at least for us, we've gone to raves and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like Luis has
I
never been
went
to
to
a
church.
rave.
Lou
Church, church the club. Church the club, if anything. That's the closest you've got to church in a while.
True,
dude.
huh?
But
I went to that one too.
Nah, he like.
no, but like for me, obviously, I feel like we've all done drugs. Like
Mhm.
most people have done drugs by now. It's like marijuana, whether it be like marijuana still a drug, whatever. For me, I have marijuana. I think I had like Molly or ecstasy. When because
Was that song
Not
hit?
trying to-
no, because
Wait, what is
when
it,
you go to like
Italia?
because when you go to raves,
Yeah,
it's like you feel the bass.
Yeah,
You
it's
feel,
in
like
your
it's like
body.
a vibration, dude. Like you feel the vibration, you feel like the vibes around you, and it's like when you're at raves, everybody's super cool. Like I have
Yeah.
never had a bad experience when I go to a rave. Everybody's super cool. They're super friendly. They want to help you out. Like if you're dying of dehydration or something, like, oh, like, I'll give you some water. Say
Me.
less, like, hey, but they're giving you Molly water.
Dude,
Molly
no,
water.
Molly
nah.
water,
Molly water,
fuck,
nah,
no.
dude.
Dude, I tried Molly water for the first
Nah.
time in December when I went to Decadence. Hell no.
Why'd you say it like
that?
Decadence?
Because, dude,
1998.
no, like,
Yeah.
I'm helping you out.
dude, no, I could never. Like, I've done Molly too, like how Angel says, like at raves and stuff. I've done Molly. I tried ecstasy for the first time.
Well, it's
I
just
think
that
it was
scene.
yeah, I mean, like everybody
is
does
just
it
that
and
scene.
stuff, and there's people that do mushrooms, people that do acid,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I wouldn't go take that extra step to do it because I mean, fuck, like me da miedo, but like,
yeah, this is like a starter, like a
Yeah.
little baby steps, baby steps.
poquito.
Yeah, but the thing with well, like you've never tried it, so like I can't tell you what it is.
What it's
but
like.
You don't
Yeah,
let me
what-
answer the question? What's up?
The what?
I'm not gonna answer my own question or what the fuck?
Well, all right,
says
Luis,
I
all
did it?
right, Luis. All right,
Ew.
Luis, have you ever done drugs?
Se
Alright,
puso
guys.
intenso la
He's
cosa.
like marijuana. That's it.
All right, guys. So I think I only done marijuana
There it is. Oh my.
and alcohol,
We knew it.
and then
We knew it.
I did marijuana for a good amount,
Guy thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, and then later on I started getting episodes. Like,
La
you know, that I
pálida,
was
la
gonna
pálida.
die, like green fever, whatever the fuck you call it. I don't know. I
No.
was
La
scared.
pálida,
I
güey.
know.
I felt my heartbeat, and then I was like, oh, not today. I was like, yeah, the first time I thought I was gonna die for sure, and I was RIP,
He got scarred for life.
Yeah. The second time I was like, oh, this is the same thing again. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep. If I die, I die. You know what it is. But yeah, after that, I was like, fuck that. Never again.
Who's man?
Yeah, who's
And then
man?
I said, no, pues mejor alcohol, I'm a good alcoholic though. Like alcohol is like what I do.
A good alcoholic?
Yeah. I
There's a
think
good alcoholic and a bad alcoholic?
Yeah, there's always a good alcoholic.
I don't know about that.
I
Just
think there's
kidding.
like a good vibes type of alcoholic.
You're like a
and
funny,
bad
good
vibes
vibe, alcoholic, and all that kind of shit. But I get what you're saying.
So yeah, she agreed with me. So in other words, she just agreed with me.
I hate you.
Anyways, yeah, I'm a pretty good like alcoholic vibes because there's always some friend group. There's always a
Uh-huh.
friend that they'll start drinking and then they'll
Wants
start
to fight you.
fighting, getting in a fight. Angel.
Luis. Luis.
or
I speak on behalf of both of them. Just
or
kidding.
what else? Or their body can't handle it. They're
Yeah.
gonna be puking and this
Yeah.
and that. And for me, I think I control it pretty
Sí, soy.
good. Let's say like for me, Most I'll do is black out, and I don't know what the fuck happened the night before. But besides that, I think I'm pretty okay. I'm like, I don't get into fights or anything like that. It's a good vibes, this and that. I make other people drink, you know. I'm like, when I go in the party, I'm like, oh, you know,
Except
let's take a shot.
You've never made me want to drink.
no, except when the mission
Tú
fails.
solita.
Yeah, when the mission
No, tú
fails.
solita.
Yeah, no, except when the mission fails. So like
Oh, yeah.
me and Luis would always go out, right? And we'd be like, oh, let's make him drink, right? I bet. We're like, hey, let's take a
That's
shot.
backfired.
We're like, hey, let's take a shot. Me and Luis, nobody else, and we're like, hey, bro, come take a shot. He's like, no.
Well, it's
Like,
because you can't look like a bitch, so you
yeah,
gotta
like,
still
yeah.
take it.
And
you
we're
know,
like,
if you
fuck.
already
We
know
called
it.
everybody else, so now we gotta take it, right? We take a shot. 2 minutes later, someone else. Oh, let's take a shot. Everybody's like, oh yeah, let's take a shot. And me and Luis again.
You can't look like a bitch, so you gotta do it again.
You know, like take a shot.
Hell
No, but the crazy thing is a lot of people don't see alcohol as a drug either. But alcohol is low key a drug, like
It's an
because you can get
addiction.
because you can
I
still get
think
addicted to
I
it.
categorize a drug. I don't know how you guys categorize a drug, but for me, I categorize a drug like if it fucks up with your like
Your mental, like
your
Mental
mental. I would
yeah.
say like
Yeah.
well, not really mental health, but like your mind.
Yeah,
If you're, you know how you like I said for me, I even started drinking at like at age of 20.
Okay.
So it was
Put 'em in
like,
jail.
pretty late.
put him in jail.
Underage.
It
Yeah,
was
put him in jail.
I
Cancelled.
was in North Dakota. There was no laws.
Put him in jail.
Cancelled.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna take a shot.
I thought it was.
We're gonna take a
Look at her back. I
shot.
thought it was Vivi. I was gonna square with her.
all right, guys. We had a little small incident.
Uh,
I think it was
a little malfunction, you know.
yeah,
but
it
it's
was
okay. It's okay now.
Technical difficulties, but we're back.
All I gotta say is Vivi is safe. You know, I was about to square up. I thought she was gonna.
I'm really glad that sign hit Luis though, because
Yeah.
he be acting out too much lately. So
I'm the. That's the ones that were taking drugs, and I'm the nicest one
No.
here.
dude, that has
Okay,
nothing to
but-
do.
whatever.
Okay.
Please,
No, no,
86.
no.
Okay, look.
Anyways,
all right, look,
anyways.
anyways, what we're saying is
Anyhow,
like a lot of
any-
people.
You're 86th.
A
Bye.
lot of people see it. I think I don't know where we left off right before we cut off when we had the technical malfunctions,
Yeah.
but when a lot of people do see alcohol as drugs, because you can get addicted to it, and then I think you were going to say something.
Well, it's because it alters your mind. You know.
Yeah.
Like
So-
you know,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
gives you it.
That messes with your like you're saying your
It
mental,
does,
your mind.
because like
you
I said,
get-
in a way, like it does get you out of like your comfort zone, and you're
Mhm.
freely, and you know, your mind just thinks a little bit differently.
Mhm.
Same thing with other types of drugs that you guys were mentioning earlier.
Mhm.
It's the same effects that it does. So I do categorize like
Mm,
alcohol as a drug.
I think it would be a drug too
Yeah.
because I think it, like I said, I feel like you can get addicted to it. Like that's how like
Mhm.
alcoholics kind
Right.
of become a thing. It's like alcoholics and then like druggies too. You know, it's like people that use drugs very
Well-
often. But honestly, I mean, there's
you abuse of it.
And if you think
Mm.
about it too, there was a prohibition era. That's the reason it was too. It was categorized as a drug too.
mhm.
That's the reason that Al
Yeah.
Pacino,
Well, I mean, kind of
whatever
like
it was.
with like people that smoke marijuana too. It's like they're like potheads. You know, like they categorize.
No, and it was categorized like
yeah.
as a drug too, especially
Right.
in like personally in a Mexican household.
Yeah.
Like marijuana is seen like so bad.
So
Yeah.
bad.
Like it's like just marijuanos, this
Yeah.
and that. Like like
But it's natural.
wouldn't
The thing,
know,
the
yeah.
thing
you
is like
call
it's
someone as a
natural.
marihuano, it's literally what is it called? Oh yeah, but
Like a
también
drug- like a
mushrooms
druggie,
and everything.
like,
yeah,
you know,
it's yeah.
Everything's pretty much natural.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
But-
agree because that's how my mom was. Like, I think when my parents found out that I started smoking weed, I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, like I do want to take a little bong rip and shit, but it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. But my mom would always be like, ay, like, ¿qué son esos disfiguros? And like this and this, like, pinche loca, like, vienes bien grifa, like, con los ojos bien rojos and like everything. And I'd be like, mom, like, just chill. Like,
So la
I'm
Llorona.
just like, but like, no, I agree with that. Like, Mexican parents are like, but then after like now, like a while, like if I were to like be high around my parents, it'd be like whatever, because I
They
think
know
like
they-
they got
they-
so
yeah.
accustomed to it where they were like, oh, pues.
Well, I mean, it's legal, so it's like,
Yeah,
you
I
can't really
mean,
do anything.
yeah.
You know?
Here,
And then
this
and
Here
it's
in-
so
yeah.
funny because like my mom, I remember once like my grandma, my mom who raised me, she has knee problems. She doesn't have any cartilage on her knee anymore, and she'd be
Mhm.
like, oh, like tienes unas gomitas o algo allá para que me cure el dolor and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, and I would look at her, I'm like, are you
Well-
being for real or?
Well, that's the thing too. Is like some drugs do have that like CBD, for example. You
Mhm.
know, like CBD is made from
What is it made of?
Why are you exposing him like
I'm
that?
just curious. I'm just-
what do you let me ask you this. What do you
Yeah,
think
what
it's
do
made
you
out
think
of?
it's made out of?
A plant?
It is. It is made out of.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree.
Oh
Yes.
no.
I agree.
Guys.
But no, but the thing is, like, some people don't like they won't use like marijuana, you know, in general, but they'll use CBD and
The
it's
medical
basically- yes,
purposes.
for
Yeah.
medical purposes, you know, it's like, and it does help you. Like, there is a lot of stuff nowadays that is legal, and there's like scientific statistics and like research behind it that
To back it up.
yeah, to back it up. But then I feel like these older people are like, oh no, like I'm not gonna do that because like marijuana, this and that, you know, like anything like that. Like even as simple as marijuana, like
Right.
there was a video that I saw, and it was somebody with Tourette's, and you know, like with Tourette's, like you know, they have like those spasms,
The
you know,
spaz,
yeah. So they smoked weed, you know, and then maybe I don't know how long it takes to like kick in or anything. Maybe it was like 30 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't take that long.
And then they were fine.
And they were like slowly, like they were having less like spasms, and then they were just like, oh, like I'm fine.
Like you're more
yeah.
controlled
They were
with
like-
your emotions, your actions, and like the spasms and stuff.
Yeah, they were like they had more control of their body.
What, dude?
I'm just following
Y'all saw that,
along.
right?
I'm just following along.
No, but like they had less spasms, like they had more control over their body. And to me, it's crazy because now, like back in the day, you would say to somebody like, "Oh, you know, marijuana this, marijuana that, like it helps you." They'd probably think you were crazy. But now, like if you think like nowadays, it's like
Such a
it's like
neutral thing.
no, it's not, it's like neutral thing, but like it comes from the earth, like it's natural. That's the
Yeah.
thing, is like it's natural. And people think that you're like doing some bad shit, you know, like
But if you say that overall, everything is pretty much natural.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
it is natural.
Like
It
even
is.
even cocaine,
So like okay,
even,
like with
weed,
cocaine's like cocoa leaves, like, you know,
everything
like
it is
Yeah.
pretty much mushrooms. They're all natural.
yep, they are.
So you're saying they're okay because they're natural?
I mean, there's a lot of research that has been done with like psychedelics with mushrooms and stuff
Mhm.
that have been saying like people with anxiety, depression, and people who have like a lot of real mental health issues that obviously, of course, it's guided
Yeah.
with that either being a therapist or that being a shaman or, you know, whoever it is. If it's guided, I've seen a lot of research where people take psychedelics, mushroom, you know, whatever that
yeah,
is,
like
it's
hallucinogens.
guided, and people who have mental health issues and they do a guided meditation or whatever it is, like it actually ends up helping them in a certain way, which is kind of like, I mean, for me, I mean, I would do it. I personally, I've tried mushrooms before. I haven't done like the full thing, but I've been wanting to. But that just relates back to me with mental health and anxiety and all that kind
I
of
have a
stuff.
question since you're saying about like mental health.
Right.
So a lot of people, like, you know, like let's say nowadays, I think depression, like, you know, like mental health, like depression and everything.
Mhm.
A lot of people are saying, even like older, a lot of people that are older, especially,
Mhm.
they say like mental, like, you know, depression and everything. And especially you'll see it in the Hispanic household. Mental health is a lot of, it's a new age thing.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
something that, you know, back then people, they say like, you know, they worried about other problems. That
There
they
was no
didn't have
mental
time
health
about
issue.
mental health
Yeah.
issues. You know, the cyberbullying was like a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regular bullying and this, and like there's always been bullying. A lot of people are like, oh, bullying is good, bullying is bad.
Mhm.
Right.
And then a lot of people are saying, you know, drugs will help out bullying, or not. Well, not bullying. Sorry, my bad. It's mental health issues. You know,
Mhm.
Mental
or
disorder.
like, or yeah, or even like depression and all like that.
Right.
But then a lot of people are, once they start getting into that like, you know, mindset that they're depressed and everything, they're taking drugs just to be like, let's say, happy, or, you know, get out of that
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
You guys really think that's good or that's bad? What do you guys
I
really
mean,
think on that aspect?
For my perspective, me just personally speaking for myself, I grew up with anxiety, depression, and all that kind of sort of stuff, and I kind of see where you're coming from, like with the background growing up in a Hispanic household. When I had all those issues, my mom was like, like, what are you depressed about? Like, what kind of issues you have. We give you everything, kind of sort of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For me, drugs or psychedelics or acid or whatever kind of drug wasn't an escape for me, like at all. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of people that that happens to them.
Right.
They'll take like let's say drugs, alcohol, whatever, but it'll be something temporary, and then they're
Right.
gonna need they have a void, like
Mhm.
that they're gonna need those drugs to feel happy, feel good again mentally.
Well,
Do you guys?
yeah. So I do get what you mean. Like kind of like when you're depressed, for example. Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
When you're depressed, whatever it may be that got you to that point, right? There's a big life change event that got you to that point, and
Yeah.
you're at that point. Some people do fill that void in with like, oh, I'm gonna go out and drink my life away, basically, because
Yeah.
that's all I know what to do right now,
Mhm.
or I'm gonna go do a lot of drugs, whatever it may be, and it's just depending on the person, honestly, too.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
some people do like look towards that as a solution.
And there's other people that don't.
Yeah, it's like you can cope with it different ways.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
I think it's just
depending
kind of
on-
based on your persona and who you
Yeah.
are as a person.
but
Because
but if we're talking about somebody that does like
Just to
that does choose
Void,
that
like, help
does
void that.
that does choose that whatever substance they use, like either whether it be drugs or alcohol, then I don't know, like it's just something mental, like you were saying, like it does
Yeah.
mess with your mental and they make them happier. But
we're canceled, guys. Honestly, I hate these guys. Honestly, guys, we're back. We had a little small intermission.
again,
Again,
guys,
whatever fucking happened.
everything is going wrong right now.
Who the fuck is doing brujerianas? Because at this
swear.
point, like, it's
What
not
is this?
me.
I'm scared.
Let me tell you guys, it's not me because I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm done with crystals and I'm done with all of that shit. Little kind of small
You did not tell us this.
no, I did not tell you guys. I'm telling you guys this now. I'm kind of done with crystals and all that kind of like voodoo, whatever. Not even voodoo shit, but like just crystals in general because like I mentioned in the past couple earlier episodes, I've been reading the Bible and stuff, and the Bible literally states like you have to follow God. Like there is nothing else that you have to follow, that being crystals, that being tarot cards or any of that stuff. Like it's really bad to follow that shit. And I've been wanting to get rid of my crystals. I don't know how yet because I'm like, what if I get rid of them and like algo me pasa, you know what I mean? But anyways, besides
back to drugs.
back to the drug
Back to the
topic.
drugs, hopefully.
I know that you were saying.
I don't even remember.
Well, I
Oh,
remember
I
how
don't
you
know.
were saying how like in Hispanic households and all that stuff and like
I was
substances.
talking about more mental health
Oh, yeah.
Right.
related
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
alcohol, or not alcohol, like pretty much drugs in
Yeah.
general.
Mhm.
I personally think it's pretty bad to actually do drugs or anything like that when you're feeling down and
To fill in that void.
Yeah, to fill in that void, because I really feel like I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I don't know. Oh, but I don't know if you know, but like I worked in the oil fields for let's say like a year and a half and stuff like that.
Mm.
That shit's
And
tough.
It's not really tough or anything like that. Like it wasn't anything like that, but it did kill me mentally because I got to that age when I was like really social.
Right.
It was like my time of my life when I was really going out a lot. I was talking to a lot of friends and everything, and I felt like I feel like I am a social kind of guy.
You were
Social
missing out
person,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
social-
And
person.
then yeah, exactly. And then I got an offer to go to the oil fields, make some really good money, So I decided to do it, and whatever. I went over there and I made really good money and everything, but I felt like I was missing that social
Connection.
connection exactly
Right.
that I had with, like, I felt like I was missing out. Like I would go into like, I would work every day. I really would work every day, and then like even Saturdays, Sundays.
But you
It
would
was like
use-
12-hour shifts.
But you would use
the
the drugs to fill, or
That's
like
substance.
alcohol.
well, not really,
You would use
not
alcohol.
really drugs or
You'd
anything
use
like
alcohol.
But
It
that
would use
alcohol
alcohol.
substance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it would just because, let's say, even on Saturdays and Sundays, that's when I would be like a little bit more. We'd work a little bit less, but I'll still work.
Mhm.
Right.
But I would like hop on Snapchat, hop on social media. I would see all my friends and everything, like
Going out.
going out and everything. Like they're having a good time and everything. and I would just be stuck like at my apartment, just
at home, basically.
I'm getting ready to like go to work the next day.
Yeah.
And for me, that's when I started like drinking, because like I said, I worked every day. I didn't really have a day that like was like a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So even on like weekdays and everything, I would just fucking drink. And for me, like I said, I felt like that was one of my most depressed like type of eras for me,
Right.
just because I felt like it was bad. I would be drinking just to try to maybe feel a little bit happy.
Like you knew better than what you were doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I said, it's just I was drinking just to feel that void.
Right.
And that's when I really think it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I think it's
you're using it for the wrong
bad
thing.
for you.
Yeah.
That's when I think you shouldn't be using drugs if you're really feeling really negative,
Right.
really down, because you're gonna see drugs as a
coping
like a getaway,
mechanism.
like a getaway. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you're gonna be taking them all the time, and that's where addiction comes in and everything, because you're gonna feel like you need them in order to feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the only thing that I feel like about drugs that is really bad for you.
Yeah.
And
I can kind of like relate and kind of see where you're coming from, because maybe alcohol was your substance, and then for me, in my perspective, I've gone through stuff. I don't know about Angel, how he feels or what he has gone through and everything. That lick of the tajin. But for example, for me, I have gone through certain aspects in my life where I think, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to take a bong rip, or I need weed to, have a gateway drug or whatever it is. Like, I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, like, it kind of scares me to even, because, like for me, I'll say this, like I've done Molly, I've done ecstasy, I've done acid, I've done, tampoco se espanten, pero
I feel
I've
like
done,
a lot of people do.
yeah, like, it's kind of like a,
like
it's like a
not
normal
known,
thing
but
to say.
A lot of people really in our group
Yeah,
age.
and it's
Yeah.
and
A
it's
lot of people already
and
tried
I
multiple.
feel like a lot of people are kind of like scared to come forward and say,
That they've done
I've
them.
done this and I've done that, just for insecurity purposes or judgmental purposes or whatever it is. But me personally, I will say, like, I can relate to you in some aspect, because there's been times in my life where I need this or I need that, but in reality, you don't need it, because you can cope in so many different ways, that being with your friends or whatever it is. But I relate to it because you're like, oh, like it takes my mind off of certain situations, or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's bad for you. And for me, it scares me. I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want to try any other different drugs, because I'm like, holy shit, like, because I think about it in a perspective where it's like, oh my God, like what if I'm so hooked onto it and I can't let go of it?
Well, that's the thing
kind
too.
of thing. You know what I mean?
That's the thing too, because even for me, I feel like I have a addictive personality in a way, because even every little hobby or whatever the fuck I like, enjoy or whatever, I'll get hooked up into it. Like, and then like, I'll go deep into it, like, watch YouTube videos and everything, whatever, even just hobbies in general.
Yeah.
But, and then also to, like I said, I only done alcohol, and I got decently hooked up
a
into
little
it.
bit of everything.
But I can control it. I feel like I can control it,
Right.
I can say no when I need to, and that's
But
that's the main
what do you
thing.
think about like how some people, because like how Luis is saying he can control it. For me, it's the same way. Like I can control it. Like I've been off of weed for 3.5 months. It's probably not a lot of time for
like when you think of
regular
it,
people.
But for you, it took a long time.
Exactly, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot as a persona and as an individual to take that time off. But for me, I'm like, you know what? Like I don't really need this shit. Like it's just kind of like an addiction and a thing where you're like, oh, like I need to smoke weed, or I need to take like a bump, or I need
that's when it like becomes a problem,
Exactly.
Well, I think
exactly.
it's because you had the drug basically as a need, and that's even with me too. Like I did weed. At first, I was like trying to weed, and even one of my homegirls will know, like they were like trying to do weed, and I was like, no me pega ni nada, and I was like trying it back and forth, and then one time I hit. Blacked out.
Todo pálido, todo pálido.
I was like, I mixed it with alcohol, so like me pegó.
Oh no, that's the worst.
But
That's
later
the worst.
on, I used it, and for me, well, it's another problem I got going on. But I fucking can't sleep. Like,
Right.
for
Insomnia.
me,
You would use it
I
for, like,
probably have
sleep.
insomnia. Yeah. And I started using like, weed to like sleep.
Right.
And I would sleep like a baby, like I would like, out of my routine, I would like go to work, go to the gym. Or like before I showered, I would like start like, taking some like, hits of like, what is it? The wax pen or whatever.
Right. The dab pen,
And
yeah.
yeah, and by the time I like, get out the bathroom, I'm good. I'm like, I'm like a little like,
Chilling.
He
I got the
he
munchies.
set for
Floating.
his fucking
Yeah, I got the
Floating on
munchies,
cloud
dude. I
nine.
like eat good. And after that, like, go to like, watch a TV show. And then I would be to sleep like at 11 p.m. And for me, if you
That's
guys know
early.
me, 11 p.m. is like
That's
Early,
early
fuck,
for you.
early,
That's
bro.
early.
Yeah.
really early.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, I felt like I needed a lot.
Yeah.
And
Like you were relying on it.
and even
Yeah.
you remember too, even like I was using it first like during the week,
Mhm.
but later on, like we would go out and then you would see me like, fucking first thing in the morning, I would fucking get my pen and I would,
Yeah, yeah,
and
Hit
then
it.
you guys were like, nigga, chill, like it's freaking like 10 a.m.
yeah.
And I kind of want to like, I don't know if you have any questions, but I kind of want to say because for me, I kind of relate to it where I have been off of weed for, quite some time. Do you feel like, because for me personally, like I feel like once I have, because I'm really good at like if whatever my vape, you guys know, like you guys say
Yeah.
I'm a fucking vape fiend or whatever.
You are.
You're gonna put some poison in it.
Like with weed and everything, I used to be so obsessed with weed before this.
Okay. Well,
Like 100%.
Well, I'll tell you one
And-
thing after you say what you
And
think, what you
with
say.
me, like kind of relating to your question is saying, do you ever feel like tired, drowsy, like you feel like shit, like complete shit after you've smoked weed like the next day? Because como dices, like you feel so relaxed, you feel so good, and like 11 p.m. is such an early time for you. Do you ever feel the next day you're like, oh, like sin hueva, like
Like
sin
you're
querer
lazy,
hacer nada,
like you just
yeah,
wanna
like
stay in bed all day.
fatigue, like you're just ugh.
Personally, well, this is the thing was with me, I would only do it like once and I would like take it like before going to sleep and I would use
Right.
it for sleep. So I would get a good night's sleep, dormida como un bebé. And then I would wake up and I wouldn't need the void until like, the very like, end of the day again.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I never really felt like that. But I know there's a lot of like I have a lot of friends like they're use weed
Yeah.
and they'll do it throughout the day. Like cuando se despiertan, like
Yeah.
en
Like-
lonche.
Yeah,
in the
literally
when
when they
morning,
wake
at
up,
night.
when
The
they're
wake and
working.
bake.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
when they wake
exactly.
up.
And I feel like I could never really do that.
Mm.
You're right.
And even like with alcohol, even the same thing. For me, alcohol, I use it like today. I think
Like,
I
so-
really
it just I think just social.
yeah.
honestly.
It's
Like,
I'm a
Yeah.
social guy.
setting.
Like yeah, because for me, I feel like I was always what is it called? I was not really. I'm
Obsessed.
social. I'm social and everything to an extent. But like for me to fully be open and this and that, like oh whatever,
Yeah, more
like
open.
not really give a fuck,
Yeah, more
that's when
open.
I use like alcohol, and
Mhm.
that's what for me I use alcohol like as good vibes,
Like you said, just
social
social,
environment.
just
Yeah,
social
social.
environment. yeah.
Exactly. For me, I never really see it as a negative, and that's the only thing that I'm still hooked to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
What
But-
about for you?
Like for me, for what?
Like, just like in general, like what Luis was saying, like, do you feel like you have kind of like a gateway, like whether
Addiction.
that being
Well, no, I feel like
Anime.
okay. So like, when you say
Shut up.
like when you say addiction, I like for me, the first thing I
Well-
think of is like you can't live without it. Basically, like
yeah,
you need it, like to go to work, to do whatever, to basically function. You need it because you're addicted to it.
right.
And the thing that I was gonna tell you was with your Nick stick.
Not me hitting it.
Nah. So like for me, with your Nick stick, right?
I'm
When
86th. No, I
no,
need it.
when people no, so like for
Hasta
example,
ahorita.
no, like it's the same thing with people that have like that drink like social that drink socially, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Think of it like this way: the thing that gets you hooked to it is the motion. So a lot of
True.
people that smoke cigarettes, they are used to going like this, right? They're used to going
Right.
putting it up and like smoking. Okay, that's why people when they quit, they eat chips because that motion.
It's kind of like
they-
a sensor that
it
clicks
isn't.
into your
No,
head.
it is. It's like you
Yeah.
grab a chip and you bring it up to your mouth, right? And you eat it. That's what they cope with it. That's like a coping mechanism. And then same thing with drinking. When people were drinking, right? We grab the
Right.
glass, we go and we drink, right? Like that. Even if you were to have water, it would feel like in your mind to be like, oh, you're drinking, even if you had water, you'd be having that like that mental
The mechanism.
yeah, just that coping mechanism kind of deal. You know, it's like you pick it up, you're going, it's like you're drinking, but you're not drinking. You're just drinking water. And that's what kind of gets your mind, like you trick your mind when you do
and
that.
that's so funny that you bring that up because I took a psychology class back in TMC and how, well, my teacher back then, she was saying like if you were to have takis in your mouth,
Yeah.
you crave that sensibility,
Yeah.
that like that motion or whatever it is like to have.
It's just a habit. It's like the habit of you going out, right? You're in a social setting and you're just there. You're so used to like, I'm social, I'm with people, they're all drinking, so I need to drink too. So as long as you're doing that motion, even if it's with water, you're going to feel fulfilled because you're still doing that motion. It's like all in your head. It's like a habit and you can't kick the habit because you're so used to it.
And it's kind of like, it's kind of sad to think about in a way because it's like you live to such a like standard for society that you're like, oh, well, if he's doing it or my friend's doing it or my boyfriend's doing it, then I have to do it too. You know what I mean?
Like peer pressure.
Exactly. Kinda, yeah. And it for me, it's kind of sad because I'm like, holy shit. Like maybe that person doesn't really need it. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe you don't need it. But like,
yeah, it's just
all right.
Shit,
Disclaimer. I'm sorry for the people that I have like people like drink. You know, I just wanted good vibes. That's all you guys gotta know. It was for my heart. Anyways, guys, go ahead.
You're 86.
But all right, so now moving on to a different topic, right? What do you guys think of like psychedelics, like in general? Like psychedelics, you're saying LSD, acid, mushrooms, ayahuasca, for example. You know,
personally, for me, I feel like it is really. I have never done it, and for me, the reason I haven't really done it is because, like I said, I do have a addictive personality. Like the only reason I stopped smoking weed was because I have like a green fever episode like 2-3 times.
But he got scared.
And I was like, never again. I think I'm gonna die. You know, so
maybe also they need like a little cat.
Whatever,
scared,
nigga.
Scared little cat.
I'll still drink.
Yeah.
And then also too, like the things they say, you know, for me, I've heard a lot of people that say that, you know, you use
have like a bad
and
trip.
everything. No, but like even you know, there's a risk of running a bad trip, but also too, I've heard like it opens like a third eye for you.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, you know, I don't know, it's a little sketch. You know, a lot of people are it's like in reality they say the third eye we always were meant to have it.
Yeah.
And it's something that was close to us. And they even have like conspiracy theories of like when people took mushrooms and like the third eye, that's when like the world had a big evolution. I don't know if you guys have seen that before.
No, I haven't seen it, but I have like something to say about it. But
yeah, but there's like a conspiracy theory that like basically, you know, for evolution to happen and everything, like a lot of people even have said, you know, that they've taken mushrooms and everything, and they have gotten like a big idea, and they just, you know, got devoted to it, and then made it happen.
Right.
And even like that's how they think civilization happened, like the fire and everything, like, you know, everything, like, you know, how the world is like structured, it happened because of that, like a lot of evolution.
Yeah,
I would say.
So do you think you're against it, or like
are you for it?
Are you for it?
For me personally, I think, in my opinion, I think I am a little bit against it because.
Okay, so
okay. The reason I think I am against it. All right. The reason I think I am against it though is because I have a lot of primal thoughts. And it's gonna sound stupid, like, you know, I'm saying primal thoughts.
Okay.
But for me, I think when we were put into this earth, I feel like we're another creature. Right. You know what I mean? We were giving the stuff that we need, and it's weird for me to need something. For me to...
He's cooking.
I already got something cooked for you, bro.
For me to, like, you know, for me to, like, move, you know? Because, like I said, for me, it's primal instincts. Like I said, a lot of the time, everything is, like, you know, natural to us.
Okay, so let me stop you right there.
All
right?
The plant is natural.
Yep. So, look.
I'm gonna let you cook.
Look. Okay, for example, ayahuasca, right? Ayahuasca is natural.
Dude. Ugh.
Cocaine, cocoa leaves, they're natural. Marijuana, it's natural. So you're telling me your primal beliefs, right? You come here, you know, you in your head, you're primal. And back in the day when we were going primal age, right?
Yeah.
They didn't know what was good and what was bad. They would do it all the time, right? They would like, oh, these leaves, you know, they're edible. They'd suck on them, whatever, like try to eat them. they gave them these side effects, or like not even side effects, but like these hallucinations and stuff. You know, like ayahuasca is like a hallucinogen. So it's
Right.
like that, how you were saying with the third eye, you know, people awake the third eye. That's when they did that. That's how evolution started becoming, because they were trying all these different things, all these plants. They didn't know what was edible, what was not
Medicine
edible.
yeah.
And think of it this way too. It's like same thing that she says, like medicine, herbs. A lot of herbs are based, or like a lot of medicines are based off of herbs, because they
Natural
have
plants,
like
yeah.
natural plants. So for you saying your primal belief, like you're kind of against it, it kind of contradicts yourself, because
Yeah.
everything is natural in this earth. Everything that has come from the earth, it's still primal. You're still, back in the day, you didn't know what was edible, what was not. They had to have tried it to know that it was edible and what was not edible.
Yeah.
And then that's how they opened up, you know, how you're saying your third eye. And the thing with the third eye is like a lot of people that do like, for example, ayahuasca, someone that does it, that's like in a bad state of mind, they can do a whole
It's-
360
yeah.
and turn their life around. Because I
Yeah.
have seen a lot of people that do ayahuasca, and then they are really successful after that, because they have a
Right.
lot of great ideas. Their depression is gone. They're like, you know what? I'm seeing life in a whole different way. And
Yeah.
like they look at it completely different, and they change their life for the better.
And I'll kind of like go back off of that, because so I have a friend who, you know, ayahuasca, you know, it comes from Peru. It's a plant, and it's something that like you obviously can't get anywhere around the world. Like really, like you really can't. Like you need a shaman, you need somebody who's guiding you, protecting you, and going through the whole process. And the only reason why I know this is because, one, my friend, and also because I've seen a lot of videos, I've done a lot of research on it, because one, personally myself, I have been wanting to do it. And it's not like como te digo, like it is a very intense drug. At the end of the day, you really do need somebody who's there guiding with you. And my friend who I'm talking about, she's done it before, you know, and she has told me, and it's so funny that you bring this up, because back in January I was supposed to do it. The whole shaman and the whole group got canceled for specific reasons. I won't say why. But there's another one coming up in May. And I have always wanted to do it. And it's not just because of like the whole drug, psychedelic kind of thing, but it's more of kind of like your intuition, as your mental health, as your persona. Because it like, and she has told me like the first day, she always recommends, she's like, it's a 2-day thing, but I recommend always doing the 2 days, because the first day you really see your person, you see your demons, you see, you know, all the bad stuff that is within you as a person. And then the next day it's kind of more of as a healing, as a, like Angel said,
Like,
yeah,
so you're
you're
kind of like reflecting on
exactly,
your life.
yeah.
A lot of people, when they do it, it's like how she was saying, they kind of see their flaws and what kind of is bothering them.
Right.
Like, so the things that I have written down is for ayahuasca in general, what people have said after they have done it is like, it's night and day difference, basically, you know?
Mhm.
So what they have said, like a lot of people, it's kind of like a research study, same thing. They took people that did ayahuasca that were like depressed and stuff, and then they kind of took down their thoughts after, you know, and like medically, well, not medically, but like health wise, you know, mental health wise. This is what they said is they had improved or resolved depression or anxiety symptoms. So their depression and anxiety got better. They didn't have as much anxiety. They didn't have much depression, was gone, you know, whatever it may be. They use it for alcohol or drug recovery. Kind of when you go through that trip, you kind of reflect on life, and you kind of see things, and it leads up to that point. You kind of realize, like how you said, like you open up your third eye and you're like, I see life as a different meaning. You know, like I don't have to do this stuff because it's going to lead me down the wrong path. And then greater self-knowledge. You get to know yourself a little better.
Mhm.
And you find out who you really are and what you're kind of here to
And what
do,
you want,
you know, like,
yeah.
because when people do ayahuasca, like
It's very intense.
Yeah, ayahuasca, like I said, people can do their life can turn around 360 and be like from poor, like broker than broke, homeless,
And you
to
can have
successful. Like,
Yeah.
and it's been, and you can see a couple of people like have done it before. And then improved relationships in general. You know, like if you had a trauma with people, like same thing with trauma, like it could heal, like kind of heal trauma. Because when you're in that state, you're vulnerable and like you just see what's bothering you, is what I have heard. Honestly, I can't speak on it because I haven't done it.
Right.
But a lot of people do say like they see the things that are bothering them. They're
Yeah,
kind of
your
they're like
true
their
self,
demons, kind of, you know, like your demons
That's what I
basically.
say. Yeah.
You see your demons and what's bothering you, what's, you know, kind of what's blocking your mind from, you know, going on ahead. You know, there's obviously stuff, everybody has stuff that like in the back of their head, like, oh, this is bothering me.
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to go somewhere.
I kind of need to go somewhere, but
And then people have a new perspective on life. You know, like they see, like how you said, your third eye, it opens up, and then
it's very true. And I, you know, like I can go back on that because, like I said, my friend has done it. She's like a energy cleanser, chakra cleanser, and you know, so on and so on. And she has told me like and it's not it's not cheap. It's very expensive because, like I said, so this leaf or ayahuasca comes from Peru. And it's very, very fucking expensive.
Well, so it's a leaf, and then they make it into like usually when you do
like
that
a medicine
ritual,
kind of thing.
like
yeah,
it's not a ritual, but like when you drink it, they make it into tea basically.
mm-hmm.
So they brew it and make it into tea, and then that way you can just sip the tea. You know, you drink the tea.
There's
and then,
2 ways of doing it. You can drink it or you can smoke it.
Yeah, but most people that I have seen they drink like they make tea out of it, and like when they have somebody spiritually there, like, you know, like kind of like a shaman to guide you, they're watching over you just to make sure you're good. You know, like you're good because it is intense.
It's so intense. Strong. I think it's a little bit, well, with the research and with what my friend has told me, it's a little bit more delicate and it's a little bit more stronger than taking mushrooms, because with mushrooms, it's like I said, it's psychedelics. Like you have somebody there with you, general, and you know, it's a guided meditation, guided, you know, ritual, whatever it is. But with ayahuasca, it's a little bit like just, for me, like I'm still scared. Like she told me like, oh, there's one in May going on or whatever, but I'm like, oh my God, like I want to. But the thing that scares me, I'm like, like I'm so scared to see myself as who I am, and you like turn around and like change I'm yourself. Just like, ay, qué miedo.
That's the main reason I don't want to like do any other drugs or anything like that.
Right.
And that's the reason I have my primal thoughts, because like I really think it's better for me to just stay the most natural I can.
Right.
Like for me, I prefer just to not take anything, and it is what it is. I might be missing out and everything, but I feel like we were brought on this earth, and it's meant for us to be like natural. There's a reason, even for me, speaking to my, like, you know, about it, I didn't take, we can't say the word, but like according to Kevin Hart, I didn't take the Vita shot. For me, it's the same reason, because I was like, it is what it is. I was like, for me, it's, we already were meant to this earth, and it, like, you know, it's
if your immune system isn't strong enough, then it ain't strong enough.
Well, I don't know if it's an immune system or anything like that, but for me, I'm like, you know, fuck
you're
it.
natural.
Like, you know, I want it to be natural. Because even there was a lot of conspiracy theories, like even that shot might have other shit into it and everything.
Or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of
not
even
even tracker, but like even like side effects.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's better to just be natural. And even like for me, I'm really into the gym and everything. I've been offered and everything. Like, you know, I know a lot of people there. I've gone for a while.
And all that kind
of stuff. Yeah, I've been offered all that shit. But like this, like the side effects and everything for me, I'm like, no.
Like, you know, it's not good for your body.
I'd rather just be natural and everything. Yeah. And like, you know, I might not have like the same physique as this other guy right here, but I'd rather just, you know, train hard and everything, and, you know, just be the most natural I can. Because you never know. People might give you the good about something, but you don't see the bad.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that I see about, you know, there's things. Because even alcohol, I can drink it and everything. I do it for, like, let's say, good vibes and everything.
I'm just kidding.
I might do it for a good vibe, but in reality, I know there's bad side effects.
Right.
And that's the realistic thing about them. And like I said, you might have a good trip and you might have a bad trip.
Yeah.
So you never really know.
Well, that's why, like, how we're saying with, like, even people do, like, do you want to take a break real quick?
We're going to take another in an immediate.
Sorry,
dude,
guys.
Yes, I need to pee. Hey, guys, we had a little other small Major
Vivi needed-
intermission.
Vivi needed to pee. That's why,
Dude, yeah, I needed to go to the bathroom
We put our lives-
really
Yeah.
bad.
All right, but we'll end it off with
Les digo, es
this.
que se está peda.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'm
stop
not
it.
drunk.
Yeah, we'll end
Dude,
it up. We'll
Let
end
me
it up
tell you
with
guys,
this.
these guys fucking went to the bathroom more than 2-3 times, whatever the fuck it is. I've gone to the bathroom maybe twice.
I've gone to the
before
bathroom
this-
twice.
No!
Yes, I have.
Anyways, besides that, I had a question for you guys. What do you guys think about drugs overall in general? Like, your
love 'em.
perspective. Do you guys think, like, yeah, what's your perspective?
Okay, so for me, overall, scientifically, like, and with all the research that they have done and the statistics, like all the data that they have gathered from, from as far as marijuana to, like, I'm not even saying like just
Ayahuasca,
ayahuasca,
psychedelics.
stuff like that. It's like there are some benefits. And I think if you're in that state of mind, you kind of explore that region that you're more open to it because
Right.
nothing else has helped you. I think that it is. I would say it would be good for somebody because I have seen people turn their life around because like not just, in general, just ayahuasca in general, but even like marijuana, I don't think it's like as much as like a benefit to you. I mean, maybe it make your like anxiety, maybe like
The
mellow you
pain.
down, like kind of like a numb killer, but something like ayahuasca, like more hallucinogen, kind of drug, it would help you for the better.
Right.
So that's my thoughts. Like it would help you for the better. What about you, Luis?
I really think to each their own most of the time. Like, I don't really judge a person like if they're taking drugs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I know there's like a lot of health risks to it.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't think you should take drugs if you're feeling really down and depressed. I think it's better to fight it off without it. Because if you use drugs to feel that void,
To fill the void.
you're gonna get addicted to it, and you're gonna feel like you only need that drug to feel that space or that missing part of
Mhm.
you. So I really think I advocate whatever the fuck it is, advocate for if you're gonna take drugs, I don't want you to be like let's say mid state. I don't
Yeah.
want you to be really
Like
down or
depressed
anything
or
like that.
anything like that,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
because I feel like
In
it
a
will
good- in a
it
good
will
state
be
of
a
mind.
really bad. Yeah,
In a
I
good
would
state of
prefer
mind.
you to do that when you're in a good state of mind, because I
Yeah.
really do think there is gonna be a bad on you if you take it when you're really down.
Yeah, because you're gonna rely on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna be it's gonna rely on you a lot and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of bad side effects to it.
Yeah.
Overall, like, we can say that, they are scientifically proven to like help in certain areas, but it all can also like, affect you in a negative way.
And
Like I
that's-
said, for
and that's
me, I
depending.
drink and everything, and I know like, alcohol is bad for your body overall.
And I think
Yeah.
that's all depending on your state of
Mhm.
mind too.
Yeah.
It's like state of
Yeah.
mind is everything. Like,
And that's why you gotta know like how to control
Yeah.
certain type of drugs. And
Yeah.
even like for me, I had friends that are into like, it's Coke is a big thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Coke, I've had a lot of friends that are like into it a lot, and they've wanted me to get into it, but I know I'm addicted to personality. I never
different.
even tried it.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I had friends that even like they vented to me, like, they told me like, hey, Adam, I don't really want to get out to this, but I feel the itch. I really need it and this and that. But I'm like, dude, like, it's just something that you need to get out of,
Mhm.
And I think that's the only thing. Like, I feel like if you take it to like, controlled, it's gonna be good.
Mhm.
But once you take it out, like, you start
It's hard,
taking it
yeah.
daily and everything, there is a problem.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I think.
What do you think,
On it.
Vivi? Final thoughts.
I think like I kind of like am a balance between both of you guys. Like I agree what you're saying. I agree what you're saying. Where you're like once you take that really hardcore drug, like it's very hard to get out of. But it's also like if you see it as a benefit for you, I feel like more if you're in that really good state of mind and you feel like you're ready to take, for example, ayahuasca or mushrooms or whatever, in order for you to see a different life changing event, then go for it. But if you feel like, how Luis says, like he's very addictive to alcohol or whatever it is, not to like bash on you or whatever, because for me, I've tried to lay off of the vape and how you guys say, like, I'm a fucking fiend or whatever. Like, it's not that. Like, it's not that I'm addicted or
We're gonna do
anything.
the
Like,
old school trick on her. We're gonna put like a spicy, like put the tip, like for some little chili or something.
shut
chile.
Para
up,
cuando le
dude.
pegue,
Throw some
it's gonna be-
Tabasco
Pero,
in
like-
there.
Yeah, como los niños chiquitos, los bebés,
But at the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of like it comes up to you and your persona and what you really come down to and what you really believe to as a person, only you know what you're putting into your body, into your system, and only you know how to control yourself. And, there's a lot of people that are like, you know what, how Luis says, like, prime example, like, I'm trying to do coke, I'm trying to do this, like, I don't know how to, it's like kind of like your gateway drug or whatever it is, there is, for me, it's, I've done drugs, like I've done Molly, I've done acid and stuff. For me, doing acid, I would never fucking do it again. Maybe Molly and ecstasy, yeah, like, because I go to raves and stuff and all that kind of sort of stuff. And I could say, like, I'm not addicted to it where, like, I crave to be on Molly or I crave to be on ecstasy
Yeah.
or I crave to be on weed all the time because, I haven't done weed in 3.5 months. Sorry, I'm fucking losing my voice. But I hate you guys. But I feel like it just really depends on the person in reality. Like, there is no it's just such a narrow topic to fucking
I think at the end
bring
of the
out
day,
at the end of the day.
at the end of the day, yourself.
Exactly.
I feel like it's best not to like go over peer pressure.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. If one of your friends is telling you, "Oh, this is the best thing to do in your life," if you don't feel like you need it, don't take
Don't
it.
do it. Yeah.
I would really say it's best for you to
But
at the
I
end
feel
of the
like
day,
it's
it's a
kind of
decision that
hard
you got to
too
take on your
because
own.
it's like, yeah, you take a decision on your own, but it's also like how you say it's that peer pressure where you're like, oh my God, but like, I'm so intrigued to try it. I'm so intrigued to, see how it feels and stuff,
But
I don't know. It's like
peer pressure.
It's a very hard, for me, it's a very 50-50, like there's things I wouldn't do. There's things that I would do, it's how you say it at the end of the day. Like, it comes really down to
But-
your persona and who you are as a person and what you really feel.
I just think
on
peer
doing.
pressure is when you're feeling really down.
Well,
when
then-
when
well,
peer
like-
pressure happens, it happens to the weaker mind. It doesn't
Well-
happen to the stronger mind.
Well, that's always said. Like, I think overall, like, it's just depending on your mental health and how you are. Because
Right.
once you're in that state of mind, you're more vulnerable to
Yeah.
being peer pressured.
You're
because-
vulnerable
That's true.
overall.
Yeah,
I
because you
think you're
have
vulnerable.
because you have that void in you, and you're like, you know what, these guys are suggesting this, and I'm gonna do it because
Right.
I am in this state. And I overall, like, in summary, I think it's just depending. Like, what I gathered from all of us is, I think it's depending. For one, it's depending on how you're feeling, like your state of mind. Two, not falling into peer pressure, even if you're not into that state of mind. And then three, it's like if it's benefiting you or not, because at the end of the day, it's like you are the only person to choose for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you make that choice.
Nobody
at the end
else
of the
is
day.
gonna choose that
So-
for you. Yeah.
That's basically the summary. Like, if you guys don't do it when you're in like a state of mind that's,
Yeah.
down and like depressed or whatever it may
Yeah,
be.
and I will say that, like, I have, used drugs, marijuana, whatever, as like an escape thing. But in reality, like, no, like, tampoco no piensen mal, like, just just marijuana in general, where I feel like, oh, like, I'm so stressed, I feel down and stuff, but like, I will advocate for this.
Go to the gym.
I will advocate, like, there's a lot of resources and there's a lot of help out there where, you can get that help in reality, like, don't seek drugs or don't seek alcohol. And, I'm only speaking for myself because there's a lot of different perspectives. There's a lot of different personalities or whatever it is. But if you have the help, seek for it. If you have somebody that's there for you genuinely, go for it. Because I know a veces nosotros como personas, like, we're very stubborn and we're very like, oh, I can do it by myself or I can do whatever it is. But if you have that help and if you have somebody that's there for you genuinely and who cares about you, then fucking seek it. Because I have lost a lot of friends to drugs, alcohol, a lot of people that have been in prison. I'm like, oh my God, y'all are fucking crazy as fuck, But if you have it, just, it's not that hard to say, I need a little bit of help, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that kind of wraps
guys,
it up
That will wrap it
for
up this episode Thank you for watching if you made it this far. And do not forget to subscribe, like, comment. We're also on Spotify and Apple
Music.
Podcast. No, Apple Podcast.
You're canceled.
Apple
Luis.
Podcast. I was going to say Apple Music too. But-
Shout out to Lil Sleeve. He's an Apple
Oh
Music.
my god.
Yeah. But guys, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. And you know what? We will see you guys next time. And keep taking shots, guys.
Si yo fuera ladrón.
Responsibly.
We don't advocate for drugs or alcohol.
Educational purposes.
Sexual purposes only.
Just a little quick shout out to Flora. I love you. Bye.
I'll shout out to her though.
For real though. Bye.
All right, later.